Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Ricky and Pam joins me, and Pam joins us from Saratoga Springs Resort. How lucky is she? And we are answering your listener questions. We get some great questions about having a lunch before Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. We give ideas for lunches around Crescent Lake, but maybe that's not your best option. You might want to get closer to the Magic Kingdom. We also talk about visiting Disney's Hilton Head Resort if you don't have a reservation, Lightning Lane Mercy, and more. Also tolls if you're driving around Orlando. So we got questions, you have answers, or flip that. It's the other way around. Well, most of the time it's probably both. So enjoy today's show. Don't forget today's podcast story is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make the show possible. Couldn't do it without you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2695 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week. We are back together to answer your listener questions. So if you have a question and you're tuned in live, which I see we have quite an audience already, please drop your questions in the comments and you'll be one of the stars of the show. At least you'll be internet famous for at least a good 3.5 minutes, and we love that. So today we have the OG crew from assembled from kind of all around the world. It's exciting. So joining us from down in the greater Atlanta area from the mouseforless.com and a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com, we have Ricky. Ricky, what's going on?
Hey. I'm excited to answer some listener questions today. So, bring them on, people. Let's go. Let's do this.
Glad you are here. We also have Pam Forrester, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, who was at Disneyland celebrating Disneyland 70, which we're going to talk about on Friday. But today, coming to us live from Walt Disney World. So where at Walt Disney World are you, Pam? What's up?
Can you tell from my background or not?
I have an idea.
Contemporary? No.
Not contemporary.
Is it Boardwalk?
Not Boardwalk, but it is a deluxe villa resort.
Nice.
In the Disney Springs area. In fact, I can walk over to Disney Springs.
So you're at Saratoga?
I am at Saratoga.
Awesome.
Yes,
cool.
And I'm sitting here on the couch, which for those of you who stayed here in a one-bedroom or larger knows, it folds down and there's a bed there. Well, it pulls down, not folds down. I always want to tell people, like, if you're staying at select deluxe villa resorts, it's not, some of them at least, are not a fold-out bed with the bar in the middle of your back, right?
Yes.
They're the pull-down bed, which actually has a real mattress on basically a nice frame there. So,
We've come a long way from the bar in the back, right? Yeah.
Yes. Like you woke up and you were like crippled the next day and you're like, I can't walk, I can't move, I can't do anything. So anyways, yes, that's where I am at the lovely Saratoga. And Mike, I am overlooking the golf course.
Nice.
So.
LBV. Yeah. So give us a little mini trip report. How are things at World? We said it was hot right now.
It is hot in World right now. Yes, it is. But the parks have not been insanely busy, so I think that part is good. And I think that's sort of where we're leaning towards this summer. Like I've been looking at availability. There's still some there, so it's not too late to make summer great because there's lots of opportunities to save and enjoy. Right? I know that's a little catchphrase for the summer. It's not too late.
Let's go.
I know. I was just working on some marketing stuff before we got on here, so.
That seems very marketing, yes.
I know, right?
I like
very
it.
catchy.
Yeah.
But anyways, we have good rates available at Walt Disney World. We have great ticket pricing available at World and Land. Good rates available at land still. You can get in and do the 70th, which we're going to talk about on Friday's show. And we've had some awesome Disney Cruise Line rates, like sort of last minute-ish Disney Cruise Line rates. So looking at those too. So
Nice.
Just saying, you should hop on the Magic July 6th. Come on. I know some people are going to be on that sailing. Let's go. It's going to be fun. No, I'm just saying, I mean, the kids' ticket deals out there for the summer, it's probably too late to have kids for that offer. But
right, because they would need to be at
three.
the
I mean, they would have to be 3 by this summer, which, I mean, too late, but I mean, you know. You can
too late. Where have you been? You're late.
Exactly.
You're late.
Maybe Disney offers that in 2029 and you're planning, you know.
Yes, think ahead, people. How committed are you to this vacation?
That's right.
And
Exactly.
saving money on your vacation?
I was committed 3 years ago, so you know.
So there, you knew.
But I still am not there yet. We don't have the 3-year-old
Right.
yet.
So next year.
I'm still, next year I can take advantage of these deals.
You need a half-off ticket deal, which
Yes.
we have not seen in the whole time I've been doing this, I don't think.
No. So
Do not
we'll see.
joke with the commitment level of Disney fans. That is
Yeah.
not funny.
People
I
right
know.
now have spreadsheets out that they're calculating.
I just knew that 3 years later there would be hopefully a discount that would be like this. Yes.
Exactly.
Ovulation
Exactly.
schedules are being checked because of 50% off tickets.
Yikes.
I probably shouldn't have said that either. Okay.
No.
Grab
All
one
right.
of your neighbor's kids. Come
There
on
you
down.
go.
Just take a grandkid or a neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Grandkid, neighbor, nieces, nephews, come on.
Yes.
All right, here we go. We got a question from Becca Singh. She's in, and we appreciate Becca Singh being here, tuned in over on Facebook, saving us all. Thank you. Hey, looking for recommendations for a place to have lunch near the beach club before heading to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Where are you going to go before? Every time I see a question about dining before the Halloween party, Ricky, you know where I'm going with this. That you were there. I think Pam, you might have been there too.
yes,
the
that
meal at the
meal at Kona?
Polynesian where the guy was drunk and got up on the
Yes.
table dressed like a
Yes.
pirate.
Yep.
And
Yes.
started yelling.
He looked
pirate.
and acted like a pirate.
Absolutely.
He sure did.
He was plundering on the table at Kona, wanting to take over the restaurant. Like I was like,
Yes, he was.
what is this, a character meal all of a sudden? And this
Nope.
is the
Right.
best
He
character meal.
needed to know
Yeah.
where the rum was.
Yes, I
I
was
think
like,
he found the rum already.
100%. This was like 4:00 in the afternoon. I was like, this is the best character meal I have ever seen in my life. But I was worried he's going to pull out like a machete or something. I was like, this dude, security came. I mean, there were guys, I thought they were bus boys. Nope, they were security. It was I mean, that was back when we used to do something every year called Epic October. That was the most epic of Octobers in those 10 minutes. I was like,
Yes.
holy smokes.
And Mike was looking to book more of that character meal.
Oh my
because
God,
He
I
was
would've-
like, what, is Kona open again tomorrow
Heck
for this
yeah,
meal?
I
I'm
would've-
coming back.
I would have had breakfast, lunch, and dinner there if they had offered that. I mean, it was the
Yes,
greatest thing ever. I think I have pictures somewhere. I was like snapping them like the paparazzi. Okay, back to Becca's question. Ricky, what would you say around the beach club?
I mean, I think my obvious answer is going to be beaches and cream.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like an easy no-brainer. You've got fantastic options, burgers and chili dogs and chili cheese tots and, of course, the ice cream. I mean, I know you're going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and you're going to get a lot of candy, but, the good thing is you can take candy home with you.
That's
and,
true.
So you can always get ice cream at Beaches and Cream. So that's going to be my top choice is Beaches and Cream for sure.
I'm trying to think something besides the obvious. Like if you want to go a deep cut, Pam, what would you say? I'm trying to think.
So I'll give you a couple because I will say we just had lunch here with one of our agents at the Cake Bake Shop. It has a fantastic lunch. I can't recommend the goat cheese and ham quiche enough. It's so good. The side salad, like how often do people rave about the side salad? Yeah, the side salad, legit. But also on top of it, Steve had they're famous for this like velvet chicken soup, and it's sort of like if you had pot pie, like in a soup form. Yeah. I took a bite of it. It's so good.
You may be changing what I try to do this weekend?
I
Okay,
know.
all right.
And even on a 90-some degree day, I was like, oh, this soup is yum. Like, yep, it was that good. But I'm going to say also one of the things to consider when you're going to the Halloween party is to consider restaurants that are on the monorail line.
Yeah.
Because a lot that puts you within striking distance to where you want to be.
It
And
does.
that would be stuff like the aforementioned Kona.
Yes.
with every once in a while drunk pirates.
Right. But then you also have stuff like the Grand Floridian Cafe, and Steakhouse 71. It used to be known as the Wave.
Yes, it did.
So I know, right? And sometimes I still call it that.
That's what we do. We've been around long enough. We are entitled to call it the Wave. That's what-
Yes, we are.
Exactly. And if you do go to Steakhouse 71, I am telling you, the burger there, legit. Honestly, one of the best burgers on property. So you can check that out. But they have lots of other things to choose from. So consider that. And the other option to consider is something at Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
Because Wilderness Lodge is just a boat ride over to the Magic Kingdom. So that's a good choice. And like even Geyser Point, that would be something you could do. Or if you want a little more fun, Whispering Canyon Cafe.
Brian and I have done that before Halloween party, and oh my gosh, it was a blast. Because we were dressed up in costume at that point, and yeah, it was so much fun. They had such a good time with us. So
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can sometimes ride a pony there during your meal. You may not know
you
that.
may. Yes, you may.
Always fun. All right, Becky's got a question in the inbox. Hey, Mike and crew, I'm a longtime listener and so thankful for the positivity and Disney love you all bring to the world. Thank you so much. We're taking a big family trip down to the world in 28 days. My family and our 3 kids, 11-year-old boy, girl twins, and 5-year-old daughter, and my mother-in-law, Nana, are all sharing a family suite at Art of Animation. We'll be lucky if we all still love each other by the end of it. See, I like somebody that's got realistic expectations for their vacation.
Go in.
Amen. Amen. And by the end of this, she's an SEC person, so I get it. She's one of my people here. So yeah, absolutely. Because Nana and like they might kill each other in the suite. It's pretty good. My sister-in-law and her family are also joining us. We all got the free quick service dining plan deal. My question is, where can we get the best quick service breakfast on the Skyliner? I'm thinking this will be for the mid-trip morning when we take it a little easy after attempting rope drops with 3 preteens and 1 teenager. So time's not really an issue, except I guess I should take into consideration what time places stop serving breakfast. Because she has one other question, but what would you do? Quick service breakfast for the preteens and teenager.
It's got Primo Piata.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
That's the answer.
That's the answer. Yeah.
It's the fanciest, nicest, best food. I mean,
Yeah.
it checks all the boxes.
It
does.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, they're staying at Art of Animation though. Is that where they're staying?
Yeah.
I mean, Art of Animation does have a great breakfast.
It's second.
So,
That would be Royal
yeah.
Caribbean Beach. I mean, the kind of 1A, 1B, I would say.
Well, I was gonna say or Pop Century right across.
That's
so
good.
I would,
Yeah,
but the,
yeah.
yeah. So,
But
but
Primo
yeah,
Piatto
I
is
mean,
not the answer.
oh, Primo Piatto is absolutely the correct answer. Yeah.
It is. It has so many great choices.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure when you are eating at a quick service meal, if you're over 21, you can get a drink with alcohol as your drink.
For breakfast.
Sounds like
For
with these close quarters and mid-trip, may take the edge off.
You may need the breakfast alcohol.
Yes, exactly. If you're under 21, you can get a specialty drink. And usually at the quick service locations in particular, the cast members can really help guide you through that. So your options may be like a smoothie or some kind of drink like that. So make sure you take advantage of all that. This is the time when you have the dining plan, whether you're getting it for free or getting it at a discounted rate, you can say yes to all the things.
Yes.
So try that out. But yeah, lots of great stuff there at Primo Piata and at Art of Animation, and for that matter at Pop Century. So you have some good choices right there on the Skyliner. You're in the perfect location to take advantage of all that.
And bring a stick or a water pistol to get those teenagers up in the
There you go.
preteens. That's what you got to use. Or shaving cream. I used to use shaving cream on Paige. I just like,
man.
I have pictures of it. I'll have to post them somewhere. I'll post them in the Discord. I used to, put it on her face or on her hand and then tickle her. And she'd eventually, because she would never get up. She would hate getting up. And she'd have it all over her. And it was at Pop Century
Gosh.
beds. I have the picture. She's in her little princess pajamas. It's so cute. Anyway, one random question. This will be our first trip in 4 years. In past trips, I've always taken a roll of quarters for the tolls we drive down and for penny pressing machines. I think the tolls no longer take coins, and I feel like I've heard most of the penny pressing machines take credit cards now. Do I still need to run by the bank before our trip to stock up on quarters, or can I skip that part of the pre-trip planning? Thanks so much for all you do. I listen to y'all at lunch as a reward for getting through the first half of the workday. Becky from Nashville, Tennessee. Go Doors.
I like that.
So she's a Vanderbilt.
Doors?
Commodores. Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
I was wondering
wow,
the same thing.
that's an odd.
It is an odd thing.
That's
to
good. I'm
cheer on.
picturing a door.
No, so Vanderbilt, not great at football, but they're amazing at baseball. They're one of the best baseball schools in the country. So, and this is their time of the year to shine. So go Doors. And so what is the status of, because Ricky, you drive, I don't drive.
do.
And what's the status of the penny
The toll-
pressers
yes.
things?
So most of the toll stations are gone. You do a drive-through, so you'll drive through the toll, and if you have a Sun Pass, or like we have the Peach Pass, or an Easy Pass or whatever, then you're good. A lot of the almost all of the Florida tolls will utilize that to take the toll money from. But if you don't have it, it'll be toll by plate. And you'll actually get a bill in the mail in the future. Like I said, I don't have that happen to me. I have a Sun Pass actually. So, but you'll get that in the future, and then you'll pay the toll that way. So, most of the tolls do not have a spot where you can stop at anymore. So they just kind of have taken that all away. They know most people don't have change, and that was causing a lot of problems. And B, it's a lot easier just to send people a bill.
So funny story about that. We were down for the Give Kids World thing, right? I rented the Jeep. And so I was riding my dad around because I'd take him back to the airport. Like we were, a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Back and forth to Give Kids World and to Coronado. My dad is super old. I mean, I'm old school, but my dad is like me times 10, right? So we're going through these toll booths and he's like, dang it, Mike. You got to go through and pay the dang toll. I'm like, now they're just going to hit the feet. They're just going to hit the plate, right? And just going to send me a bill. Like, they got my card on file. Like, I'm pretty sure they're just going to mail me a bill. Like, I'm going to get hit for this, but I'm just going to pay the bill eventually. Like,
yes.
He's like, yeah,
Yes.
they are. He's like, it's going to be like $90 every time you go through that thing without paying. I'm like,
No.
I'm sure it's not going to be $90. I'm like, this is a tourist city. I'm like, if it was $90 every time a car went through here, I'm like, I would be reading about this all the time on social media or like in the newspaper. I'm like, I swear, he made me, like, he was kind of late for his flight. We had to go through, he's digging money out of his wallet, and he's got, I have kind of the same wallet, except I've kind of changed to like a Pop Sockets wallet now with only like 4 cards, like in the 2000s. But he has like the old man wallet, right, with like 100,000 things in it. Pulling it out to try to find ones to feed the lady, because there's like one lady in that one, far over thing. And we're sitting there. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was the craziest thing. I'm like, dude. And so,
They
of
even
course,
have
the whole time.
signs that say toll by plate.
Right. Well, I don't even know if they had that. I didn't see him. I didn't care. Because, the 7 other times he wasn't with me, I'm right down the middle of the things. It didn't matter at this point. I'd already gone through the dang thing 7 times when he wasn't with me. I mean, I'm like telling him, we're arguing. I'm like, dude, we're fine. No. He's like, dang it. I thought he was going to grab the wheel on me. And pull that thing over to the right to the, pay the toll thing. I'm like, just sit, just almost grabbed his seatbelt and just like pulled it real tight. And like, dude, just hang on. You're the passenger. That's why dads and sons should not be riding together.
That's hysterical.
We're too much alike. Except that. I was like, just sit back because we'd hear about it. Anyway, what's the status of the pressed pennies?
I also don't think that they take change anymore. I think
the vast majority of them don't. But I will not say all, because
exactly, yeah.
I think there's a random one every now and then that you run into. So I can't say that there aren't a few.
A random one, yeah.
Yeah. that still use the quarters and pennies, but I think the vast majority of them you can use your credit card, and they actually use copper blanks instead of the pennies.
I agree.
Because, you know, it costs more to make
That's what I
a
heard.
penny
Like, yeah,
apparently than they're worth.
It's a racket now at this point. And, you know, Justin, my good buddy down in Tampa, says, you know, you can bring a couple coins, toss into the wishing well, and, you know,
right.
Good.
make a wish.
And they do give those to Make-A-Wish, right? Or
Yeah, they
Yeah,
give them
yeah.
to Give Kids the World, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw a wish out there for the Be Our Guest podcast. Become #1 in the entire world while you're out there. All right, Thomas has a question. We love Thomas. Hey, BOGP crew, I'm thinking of a little trip to Hilton Head this summer, but I doubt I can get a DVC room. Could I still visit Disney's resort if we aren't staying there? Can we dine, shop, walk around, etc.? Pam Forrester, what do you think?
So I don't know if there will still be availability. For those of you who don't know, even if you are a DVC member, if you want to book with cash, you can book through our agency, and we do book folks at Hilton Head. In fact, I've stayed at Hilton Head a few times, paid cash for those stays, because it is hard to get, especially during busy times.
It's hard to get. It's hard to get with cash a lot of times too. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I try. Yeah.
Period. You have a better chance though, probably. So anyways, so for those of you who don't know, the DVC Resort in Hilton Head actually has the main location sort of where the lodge is and the where you stay. And that part is actually not on the ocean. They then have a beach house, which is across the road a ways, where you can go, and that's where the beach is. They will let you come and visit the part where you can stay. They have a small shop there. I don't want you thinking it's anything big, because it's not. And they have a quick service restaurant. And that's really about it. You can sort of walk around. You won't be able to use the pool or anything like that. But the beach house, they are pretty protective of that. And you actually have to scan to be able to come into the beach house area, whether you're coming in from the ocean side or coming in from the road side. So they sort of really protect that area, but you will be able to go to the main location, and you can walk through. It sort of sits in the marsh, the lowland, as they say, and it is kind of cool to see it. The accommodations are really cool. I love seeing like the balconies and stuff like that, and just sort of walking around. It does feel very Disney-esque.
Does.
But yeah, there's not a ton to see there, so I just don't want you to be disappointed in that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I did that. A long time ago. I mean, it was right after we moved here to Georgia, and so we took the trip over that direction, and we like, you know, walked in and saw the resort and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not a lot, you know. It's definitely just a you know, just like a hotel basically. And
Yep.
but yeah, we grabbed a snack. I have a Hilton Head mug that I, you know,
Yes.
coffee mug that I bought, you know, that kind of thing. So that I had that. So I'm like, yes, I've been here. But yeah, I mean, other than that, you know, there's not a whole lot to see. It's really just, you know, you're going to see what the hotel looks like, and that's kind of it.
Is Hilton Head the place that had the famous dog? Maybe still does.
Yes.
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 Is he still around?
Yes.
Is he still
No.
kicking? No. Oh.
Shadow.
Shadow, yeah. No.
Sorry,
I
Shadow.
know, it's
Pour
kinda
one out for
sad.
Shadow. Pour one out. You know, I love my dogs. That's sad.
Thanks for bringing that up, Mike.
Yeah, way to go.
Bring down the show.
This is such a great show. We had the pirate, the Kona, you know, on top of the table, me strapping my dad, like, shut up, we're going through the express lane, just stick with it. And then we had Shadow. Oh my God, this show takes you on an emotional roller coaster right in your midweek. Strap in, we're getting you ready for summer this weekend. All right, Becca's got another question. She's here, and I like it. She says, I recently listened to your episode on tips for resort hopping. Would love any advice for park hopping. So not because I messed that one up. Like apparently in the Discord, everybody's like, Mike, you said park hopping like 7 times during the resort hopping show, which, I mean, if I only said it 7 times, bonus, because I screw up all the time. My wife points that out all the time. So park hopping, I mean, let's all give our number one tip. I'm going to go first because you'll snake mine. So number one park hopping tip is if you buy it, use it as much as you can, and don't buy it halfway through the trip. You know, like buy it early and use it often, because it costs the same whether you buy it on day 3 of a 5-day trip or if you buy it immediately. So it's like, it's an all or nothing proposition. So if you're going to spend the money on it, buy it and use it as much as you can. So take advantage. That's what I say.
Yeah, I think that's a good tip. I think, you know, the best way to utilize a park hopper is probably when you're taking a midday break. So that way you go to one park in the morning and then break and then go to a second park in the evening. That's probably the best way to handle park hopping, in my opinion.
I agree, and I schedule my dinner at the park I hop to
Yeah.
in the evening usually. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I do it. I'm an old man. Okay, go ahead, Pam. What do you got? I mean, it's
We do.
about
And you
5
eat
o'clock.
early.
I do.
Yeah,
I do like 4
exactly.
or 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think some of my best park hopping tips are use it to visit the park that is open the latest.
Yeah.
So even if it means you go to a third or a fourth park that day, especially if you're visiting the Animal Kingdom, there will be other parks that are open late. Take the opportunity to go in and see those Magic Kingdom fireworks again, because the Magic Kingdom is typically the park that's open the latest. Go see those fireworks for the second, third, fourth time. Go do Phantasmic again. Go do Luminous at Epcot, but take advantage of that. I think that's one of the biggest ways to look at the value of a park hopper is that you'll be able to visit parks with extended hours, even longer. And when you think about it, I mean, I'm sure that there's someone out there doing the math, but like the price per hour, like it's going down, right? As you're using it to its fullest. If you get a midnight, or even if you qualify for the evening extended hours and you take advantage of those, I'm sure that you get your price point per hour down fairly low. So
Who has the energy for all that? But no, I'm just kidding. I guess
there's a big
whippersnappers.
mathematical
There
equation
is,
somewhere,
there
I'm
is.
sure.
All right, we got a question here from Adon, who's tuned in over on YouTube. We appreciate that so much. And we're going to talk about this all kinds of stuff on Friday, but just a little preview since you're here. Planning to visit Disneyland in June of 2026. When will the 70th celebration end? It should, because I think it's like they've announced like an 18-month celebration, right?
They have not announced an end date.
It's going
That's
to
what
go
I was gonna say.
forever. Like it'll be like the year of a million dreams. The 7 years of millions of dreams.
Let's
Yeah.
hope that it's going to last at least 12 months. And
Yeah.
Until the keys,
Since-
until those big keys run out, right? That's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. So 12 months would really only put us May to May.
Right.
I hope that they're going to go a
through the
year at
summer.
least from the actual anniversary,
I was
but
hoping
we
the
don't
same.
know.
Yeah.
We just don't know. But yeah.
It's Disney. I think you're going to be okay. I think.
hope.
I mean,
I
I'm
hope.
not. Nobody's asking me, but I'm just saying. I think you're going to be probably good. And Christy had a little feedback here. Tip for tolls: if you're renting a car, especially as an international guest, you can get a visitor toll pass at kiosks at MCO. Saves a lot of money compared to paying the fee to the rental car company. It's at
That's true.
visitortollpass.com.
That's also a big helpful tip. Yeah.
I only paid like $9, I think. Yeah, maybe it was more
Yeah,
than
Not
for
90,
a lot
right?
of the.
No, not 90, because if I would have, I'd have had to tell my dad not to eat crow, And
I want to hear what your dad is telling his friends. He's probably
Oh,
like,
yeah, dude,
my
I
son
guarantee you."
spends money like a drunken sailor.
Yeah,
He's
$90
like,
$90
tolls,
driving
tolls,
home.
I guarantee. I should have looked at his Facebook, because I guarantee you the whole flight home, because I dropped him off at the airport and then I drove back to Coronado. By the time those wheels were up, because I guarantee he probably is too cheap to buy the internet on the flight because it was $8. But he probably, before they took off, so he didn't have to turn off his Wi-Fi yet, he probably posted, my son's
and
probably
he
blown
told
through
his
3 toll booths
seatmates
already.
all about you.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
he's $270 down already, going back to dropping me off from the airport. I can totally see it.
When will he learn?
He thinks he's Daddy Warbucks down here in Florida. I should have looked. All right, Terry's got a question over the inbox. Hey, we're going to be staying at Beach Club in September. When will we know the dates of the extended evening hours for Deluxe Resort guests for the month of September? Trying to plan lightning lanes and dinner reservations, and it would be super helpful to know which dates and which parks will offer extended evening hours. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah.
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 We hope typically to know them at that 60-day mark when you can start making ADRs and stuff like that. But we don't always, so.
No, Disney's not the best at sharing those details for some reason. They just
Right.
really aren't. So, ironically enough, the planning details that people want to know, they are terrible at relaying. Like, I saw somebody today asking about 4th of July fireworks and when they'd know the times, and I'm like, Yeah, you're not gonna know those until probably like a couple weeks before, because they're terrible at releasing that too. So, yeah, Disney's just really awful at sharing details, and you just got to kind of keep looking, and they'll be there eventually. So
Something will be.
it's frustrating for planning, and I get that, but you know.
Sort of look at the schedule that's, been happening. That is what they typically sort of keep to, although we have seen that they've, on certain dates, they sort of switch the parks. That
Especially
are
in
offering,
September because
yes,
of the Halloween party.
Halloween
so,
party.
yeah, they may switch the park, they may switch the day, so just kind of keep that in mind too. But
So one of my guests that listens to the show had a question just this afternoon, and I thought I'd throw it out here to you guys. I didn't have a great answer. They have a super late homecoming reservation. I think it was like 8:55, staying at Saratoga. So they're just going to walk over and have dinner, but they're looking to cancel that and looking to replace it with a different reservation at Disney Springs for their family, but they need something that's 1 credit. They like seafood and steaks. Something around Disney Springs, though, they could look for. But see, I was thinking Boathouse, but that's 2. So
Boathouse is 2.
is Paddlefish 1 or 2?
I think Paddlefish, if it's on, is 2. But you know what? Since they're looking at Disney Springs, you can always consider something at Saratoga, and Turf Club is 1. Check out the menu there, though, to see if it's something that you like. I was trying to think. Why do I feel like there's one on the tip of my tongue that I am not thinking of?
Yeah,
Is Splitsville on? See, there's a few in Disney Springs that are not
Yeah.
on the dining plan. Splitsville, if it is offered, it's probably only going to be 1.
yeah, Splitsville,
Right.
I think, is on the dining plan. It would be 1. It wouldn't be 2.
And House of Blues, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Dang, though, none of these are replacements for Homecoming, I will just
No,
say.
absolutely
And I
not.
would keep looking to see if you can get it.
My suggestion,
Homecoming.
I mean, there's not a good steak. There's not a great steak. But man, I take that boat down to Olivia's.
There you go. You know that's Mike's favorite.
Because you could just jump the boat. Now you'd have to jump the boat to Disney Springs and then hop a different boat to Olivia's. There's not a direct boat. Because it's not going to go from Saratoga directly to Old Key West. But if you caught the boat or just walked over to Disney Springs, right, in the marketplace, I think that's where you catch it. And then right over to Old Key West, that'd be fun. And I mean, that's got the best chicken. I mean, that's my favorite dish of all. And then they have a steak. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a steak to write home about, but it's 1 credit and you can easily get an ADR there, and the atmosphere is killer. I love it. It's very similar to Homecoming.
Everything that I'm looking up that would be like a steak and seafood kind of replacement is a 2 table service credit. So that's kind of the difficulty there, because obviously if it's a steak restaurant and seafood restaurant.
Here's one that might work. Raglan Road. It's going to actually have both steak and seafood.
That's true.
And lots of great other choices. And I believe it is still on the dining plan, unless I'm completely wrong. Which, this is the thing. I've been doing this too long. Things stay in my mind from 10 years ago or 5 years ago about the dining plan. But I believe that Raglan Road is still on. Okay,
I just looked it up. Yeah. Raglan
So
Road
there, that will be both steak and seafood options there. And the fish and chips there are great.
Yeah.
There's some steak options, but I will tell you, I can't get away from the pot pie.
Oh.
I
You
know.
had pot pie tonight.
I know, right? What is happening? And I'm not going there tonight.
See, this is not right, because you are sitting at Saratoga Springs.
I know,
right now.
you
Dude,
totally
as soon as we get done,
I could walk over.
Exactly. When I'm done recording, I'll be editing, and you'll be like, boop, 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 right over to Disney Springs. That's all right. Okay. Last question of the day. Hey, Mike, husband, 2 kids, 8 and 5, and I are headed down to Disney World for a few days in June, followed by a 7-night sailing on the Treasure. We have a couple of questions I hope you can help us with. Question 1. What is the current grace period policy for Lightning Lane reservations? When I was last in Walt Disney World in October, I think you were allowed to tap in up to 5 minutes before your reserved window opened. And even if your window had expired, you could still tap in at any time. Ricky, what is this? I know the first part is correct usually.
Yeah,
The first part is correct, yes. You do have 5 minutes I believe it's 5 minutes period.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a grace period afterwards. You get like a 1 hour window to use it, and they expect that you will use it after that. After that, if you try to tap in, it will not show as available.
Right.
And
if there is a grace period after, it's probably that 15 minutes that it used to be like before. But that's about it.
It's probably up to the cast members' discretion at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say. Okay, question 2.
Yeah, and I think they might. I don't think it's at the attraction cast members' discretion. I think you would have to go to a Blue Umbrella and actually do that. But I don't know. I could totally be wrong. But yeah, they did crack down on that a bit ago. So.
Can't have nice things. Question 2. We would love to take our kids to the Haunted Mansion bar on the Treasure during the hours it is not reserved for guests 21 and up. What is the best time to visit on C days to avoid wait times? Thanks for being such a great resource and helping us keep the Disney magic alive when we are not in the parks. Anna, you're going to have an awesome time on the Treasure. So jealous. I'm rocking my Treasure hat right now. Oh, God, so awesome. Just take a bajillion pictures when you're in there and get the... oh my gosh, what's the name of the margarita thing that comes in the box? The Chilling Challenge. Get that. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. When to take the kids, though? I just kind of eyeball it. I mean, it's right there next to the Skipper Society place. Just honestly, I don't think it's going to be that crowded because it's a 7-night cruise. People kind of rush it early. As the cruise goes on, you'll see that it just opens up. I mean, that's what I would say.
Agreed. And if you happen to have a time that you're not eating at the main dining time, like let's say there's just a night you don't want to do main dining and it's still available for all ages, then that would be a great time to go to, because when the main dining room is being sat, sometimes it's like the ship is like a ghost town.
It's great. Like, all those ships are that way. Yeah, I mean, like you could be walking top deck on, and the people that haven't cruised don't understand this, right? I mean, like even on the small ships, there's like 2,500 people, 2,800 people. The big ship's 4,000, and you can be on the top deck at sunrise, and you do not see a person. You're like, what is going on? Like there are. I sat in the Walt Disney Theater just last night. There were 900 people around me, and now there's nobody to be seen. It's wild how that works out. It's the coolest thing ever. Like I've been watching all the vlogs and stuff because our cruise is coming up here soon, and like I can't wait to get back on the ship. Sunrises at sea, sunsets at sea, walking deck 4. I'm excited because we'll get the whole deck.
Yeah,
I've been on the Magic since it launched, like a few cruises after it launched. It was Parrot. Remember Parrot Key? That was the Tangled restaurant back
yes.
then.
Yes. That's right.
Old school. Yeah. All right, we're going to close this one out. We're going to be back on Friday talking Disneyland 70. Pam is going to talk about those humongo keys and what they do. I'm super locked in on those things. Like, did they have to be that big? Maybe. I don't know. And the Mickey popcorn bucket. Like, I'm intrigued. It's $51. I need it, but I'm scared it'll start talking to me during the podcast.
It's also really creepy in a weird way, too.
Absolutely, dude. I've
reached down into it.
Yeah, I know. A bunch of levels. Yeah, I know. Like, I could be sitting here like at night editing, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mike, what's going on?" I'm like, "Dude, shut up."
You're like, "Oh, no.
Stop. I'm the only one in this house right now. You got to knock it off, Mickey. You're freaking me out right now." It's a whole new world, baby. So I can't wait to talk about Disneyland 70, the good, the bad, the ugly, the scary. We're going to be here. So let's talk about it. I cannot wait to get out. Paint the Night. Paint the Night was like right before I got to go out there. Oh, my. I can't wait. Anyway, you can't start that show till we end this show. So let's end this show. So we're brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We can get you out to the West Coast. We can get you in the Disneyland Hotel, Pixar Place Hotel. You want to be bougie? Grand Californian. I mean, right there. Boom. You're just walking right in there to DCA.
Disney California Adventure.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to think of the letters. I'm terrible today. Just be like, yep, I'm here. I'm here. I'm ready to get a corn dog.
I'm ready to go.
I can get a corn dog right here while I'm passing by. It's all good. All the good neighbor hotels, whatever you want to do, however you want to roll. Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line will sell that treasure. It's awesome. We'll take care of you. So swing by the website today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. We appreciate that so much. And thank you to our Patreon supporters, especially this past week. If you got email notifications when I release a show, My bad, because I released this week's show 7 times because Patreon made a update to the website, and I couldn't figure out what was going on because I couldn't get the show to hit the feed, the RSS feed. And so Mark Yerkes is like, dude, did you release 7 shows today? I'm like, no, I released one show 7 times, but it never hit the feed. He's like, oh, okay. So one show, I think it was pretty awesome. But yeah, sorry about that, but it won't happen again. But thank you to our supporters. You get a show called Mike in the Midwest. I promise it'll just be once going forward. And you can get it for $5 a month. You get a show every week, and it's always a lot of fun. So coming over, and it's not support for the Patreon, the bonus Mike show. It's support for this, so we can do the video podcasting, so we can have 5 shows a week instead of 1 a month. It costs a lot of money, and that all goes into all this. So thank you for supporting us, and we appreciate it. It's patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Follow us on social media. Be Our Guest Mike is where I am on x.com, Instagram, and Threads. Pam is at TMFLT Pam. She's all over the world. I mean, shoot, she was at Disneyland. Now she's at Walt Disney World. You got to follow her. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. And of course, we'll have the live call-in show Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call. We got the new phone number. It's awesome. I love it. We have fun talking Disney. Mohawk even stayed up to like 3 in the morning talking to us from Scotland last week. It was great. And then he regretted it the next day. But hey, it's on him. All right, so we're going to talk Disneyland on Friday. Can't wait. Hope you'll be there. We'll be there, and we'll kick off summer. We usually do a summer kickoff show, but we're going to talk Disneyland. I mean, what better way to kick off summer and go to Disneyland? So that's what we're doing. All right, so until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.